everyone, welcome to the next video from this page from Rita Berman's autumn book. It is, what's it called? Mein Herbst Spaziergang. Should know some German, I've got a GCSE, but there we go. It's also this page in her compilation seasons book, so if you don't have the autumn book, I picked one that was in both so that you could colour along if you had the other book. We're going to start today with these hazelnuts. Now these three hazelnuts, although they're drawn differently, they are all hazelnuts. So I thought that it would make sense to colour them the same. I have just noticed that I've got a bit of brown background on this one, which I'm just going to remove. There we go. I did just have a little look to see what they look like, because although I know, I sort of doubted myself. So we want a sort of brownish, reddish brownish colour. I'm looking at my colours. I think the dark tan might be quite a good match in this Black Widows, in the Black Widows pencils that I'm using. I'm just trying to find it though. I think it's on this side. Here it is. We've used it actually. Oh, we used it for the background, didn't we? Yeah, okay, we won't use that then. Sorry to mess you about. We'll use the brown brick instead, and I think it'll work, but because it'll be quite vibrant, which I think will be fine. So here it is, our brown brick, and this top part is a sort of pale bit. So just going to do this main body, and I'm going to ignore the patterning and just make a star. I think this will be fine. So nice and intense on the edge, and then I'm going to just start to fade a little bit, so less intensity as I go up, thinking that it sort of would catch the light on the top end if we're assuming the light's coming straight down, which I always tend to assume just to make it my job a little bit easier. So lighter to here. I'm going to go back over that and just make it more intense. We want to make sure that our brown items particularly stand out from the background. I think it will. I think we'll be okay. There we go. Now the markings, I thought we could use our gold and glittery pens to do something with, rather than use our colours. I thought it might be a bit different. So this one it's a slightly different angle, but I'm going to make this bottom part here more intense. So I'm just colouring it over a few times as I go, and then I'll do less as I come up towards this sort of top corner, which I think will be the lightest, and just work my way along. Now these are slightly shiny, but I'm not going to draw a shine line on. I don't think it's going to work with our sort of idea of of doing the gold and glitter on the items. But if you want to, you could draw a little white line on there to make it look more shiny. But as I say, I'm not going to do that. Now this one is a very different angle, and I'm thinking it would just be darker here at the bottom and lighter towards the top, but I'm going to make the edges a bit darker like this, and then make it lighter towards the middle and the top like that. But we've got a nasty looking line there, which I don't like, so I'm just going to now go back over, so darker here and less towards the middle. I know I'm zoomed out quite a lot longer way than normal, but that's just because I want to do all these three together, because I want them to look, I'm going to say the same, not the same, but the same colours. So there are our three. They probably are a little bit dark, but I need them to stand out from the background, so I'm okay with that. Now the very top is a sort of very pale brownish, almost, I'm looking at my swatch chart. I'm going to bring it into view for you. So I'm looking at this suede colour, but I'm not sure if it's going to be just too pale. So what I'm going to do is try it, and if it's too pale I can put something over it, but it would have already have sort of dimmed everything, if you know what I mean. I think we'll use the oyster because we haven't used it before. And I'm just going to go over the whole surface the same. I'm not going to make one area darker than another because it's a pale colour. I'm going to have to build it up a little bit just so that you can see it. And I'm hoping that it'll be enough without another colour on top if I layer it up enough. So I'm just going to go over and over and really block it in like that. And it looks very matte rather than shiny, which is how it is on a hazelnut. Just do the same on this one. Just keep layering until you're happy with how much colour is there. I think when I first started colouring, one of my main problems was that I would only do like one layer of colour. I wouldn't think about layering it up to make it more intense or a little bit darker. It depends on the pencils you use whether that actually does work. Some don't really look much different if you do more layers just because of the way the pencils are. Right, now we've got our two pens, glitter and metallic, and which we're going to use for which? Well, what we tended to have done is glitter around the edge, so I think I'm going to use the metallic for the sort of markings and then glitter for the edge. I'll show you. I'll start with the glitter on this one. So I'm going to use the glitter here. Sorry, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but I'm also going to go around there, so all the way around that sort of top bit and then around the outside with the glitter. Whoops. And then take my metallic and do all the markings. So just nothing too fancy, just over the top of every black mark that's drawn on our hazelnut, and then filling in like these bits. Now Rita Berman, who is the author of this book, actually uses a lot of gold pen herself, or paint. She tends to use gold paint. When she colours in her own pictures, if you ever watch her videos where she's actually colouring her own pictures, she uses the most beautiful combination of colours. She uses polychromos usually, and she tends to use a sort of mix of colours like the mauve with a deep pinky purple, probably. I'm not sure which one, I can't remember. Maybe the fuchsia pink, something like that. And the May green, and a sort of Naplesy yellow, and a sort of ultramarine. That sort of mix of colours. Yeah. And then gold. And her pictures are absolutely stunning. And I actually tried to copy some of her colours actually on a page in this book. I can show you. I don't know if it's... No, it's nearer this way. Try not to smudge my... This one here. This one here she'd done. And she's used orange as well, but there's greens and yellows in there. And then these sort of purples and pinks that she's used in the background. Then the gold pen. They were just super stunning, the way she'd done them. And I think she'd only done 3, and I just tried to do them all in her style, and it was quite difficult, but I just, those colours, just a beautiful mix of colours. So and the fact that they were polychromos, which I have and use a lot and know well, helped me. Now I've done a very silly thing. I've done this one down here, and now I've got to do the one at the top without smudging this pen. My pens are quite old now, and so they aren't that sort of juicy, so they dry quite quickly. if you've got a new pack, you have to be really careful because they will smudge a lot. So it's you just need to be aware that not to run your hand over them. Actually, I'm not going to smudge it, am I? Because it's so near the edge. I can put my hand on the other page and work through. I'm getting thirsty. What time is it? It's only 20 past 10. Make a coffee after this video, I think. Do the edge with our glitter, and then we'll decide what to do next. Such a... oh, my glitter pen, is it running out? It doesn't want to write. I'm just going to scribble it. Sometimes with the glitter pens, that's better, they get clogged with glitter on the rollerball, so you have to just give them a really hard scribble on some scrap paper, just get them going. I think there's some on there, a tiny bit. Yeah, this part I probably need a new one. I do use these a lot. Right, so we've got our hazelnuts done now. Where should we go next? We could have a go at these leaves. Let's have a go. Come in a bit closer to do these leaves. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Now I'm thinking I'd quite like a bit of green here, but also autumnal browns or yellows. So I'm going to have a look again at my swatch chart. I'm not going to put it on top of the page this time because I might smudge it. I'm going to start with the leaf green, I think, and just do a little bit of leaf green. Where are we? Is that the leaf green? Yes. And then we're going to do a selection of colours like we did for these, and we're going to do a sort of blend. Although autumn leaves don't do that, they don't sort of always blend. I've said this before. You tend to get little patches of colour. I find it's nicer to blend it up, I think. But I also think it doesn't look, it looks like that's how you meant it to look, whereas I think if you do a section and then finish it with a sharp line and move on to another one, it looks like you can't blend somehow. But it's up to you. So I'm just trying to reduce the amount of green as I go up so that we don't get a sharp line. Excuse me, but we will be using another similar-ish colour as well to make the blend easier. So that's our leaf green. We're going to move to apple, which I have to try and find. There it is. It's a sort of lighter version of the same green. So we're keeping with our green for now. This is a lovely green. I do like an apple green. I like the apple green in the Prismacolors too. So there. Just moving slowly up our leaf. Also with leaves, with like this, you wouldn't see a twig of leaves with each one the same colour like this. They would probably, the top one might be a different colour to the bottom ones, for example, if they were changing for autumn. But again, I just like making them look the same. There's something about the uniformity that appeals to me. Have I done this one already? So I tend to keep them the same, but as I say, it's not necessarily very realistic. There's a lot of clicking in my ceiling today. I think the house is warming up. The sun's come out. Right, where should we go next? I want to move to a more yellowy, browny colour. I think we'll go for the calm lime. We're sort of moving towards greeny yellow. Okay. want to leave some room for another colour. See, I'm trying to make these look very different to these, which they certainly will do. But also I like a bit of green, and I know it's supposed to be autumn and all that, but there will be brown on the ends a little bit. Oh, I haven't seen lots of autumn colour yet. I think I might be being a little bit previous in my autumn colouring, but I think it's rather fun. We're actually going to have a few hot days this week apparently. I was really hot in bed last night. I couldn't tell whether I was having a hot flash. I had a nightmare which didn't help. What am I going to use now? The green tea. That's a nice one. The green tea. Yeah, I had a nightmare. So I woke up all hot, you know how you do. I'm going to use this on the tip and then blend it down into the lime. But yeah, I woke up hot a few times, and I put on my winter pyjamas. I just love wearing cosy, fluffy pyjama trousers, you know, brushed cotton. They're so comfortable and I feel so cosy and, you know, lovely. But then I got a bit too hot. I took my socks off in the end. I had my fluffy socks on. That helped me go back to sleep. I cooled down a bit. Now these tips aren't dark enough for my liking. I'm going to add another colour on the tip. I just find it a bit easier to blend this in this direction into the lime. Almost obliterated all the lime, but I think it's okay. Where should we go on our tip? I think we will use a tiny bit of the stink bug. Where is it? Is it here? Yeah, it's this one we've used before, but that's okay. I'm going to give it a sharpen, but I should just show you so you can get prepared. And what I'm going to do here is just put a little bit on the tip like that. Just, I mean, it's tricky because it's similar colour to the background, but once we put on our gold and glitter edging, which we will be doing in a minute, it will hopefully stand out a little bit more. But I just feel like I want a little bit of brown on the end. It just gives it an extra warmth, I think. Right, that's that bit done. I'll just move my pencils out of the way now. So I'm going to use my that's the glitter one though, the metallic one for the stem and the little, like we did on our pine cone. And then for the leaf centres, these bits. I find pen takes much more concentration. I don't know if it's just because I know I can't erase it. But if I did a whole pen video, I probably wouldn't speak much because I'd be concentrating so hard. So that's that bit. And then I'm going to use the glitter one for the edges of each leaf. I'm going to start here, try and put my hand somewhere where I'm not going to smudge any pen, but you don't really need to watch me because I'm just going around the edge of each leaf. I'm having to go back and forth a bit to get my pen to flow, but you have to be a bit careful with pens because if you go back over an area you've penned already, penned being a strange word, a letter is penned, isn't it? Like written. Anyway, if you go over an area of pen that you've done already, sometimes it takes up the gel back, or you know, removes it rather than layers it. You'd have to really wait for it to dry. This seems to be just working for me, I think, because my flow is so small because it's running out. I wonder if there's any, I don't know whether they sell these anywhere. I think Hobbycraft used to do a few Sakura pens, but I don't know if they still do. I'll have to have a look. There we go. So if I tip it up, you might be able to see the shine a little bit. I don't know whether I prefer to just do all metallic, really, to be honest. I think it might look better, but never mind. Right, where are we going to go next? How are we doing for time? We've got 10 minutes, I think. I'm trying to keep these at, you know, half an hour, something like that. Let's do the pear. Now, the pear always confuses me, because what's this? I'm going to ignore it. I think it might be meant to be like a shine patch. Do you know what I mean? But pears aren't normally hugely shiny. So as I say, I might just ignore it. I'm just going to move my swatch chart because underneath my book I need to be able to see it. There we go. So I think with our pear we'll do a bit of red and a bit of green. Some pears are this colour and I think it just makes it look a little bit more interesting and yummy, really. So I'm going to start with the zombie because that's a good colour name. And we're going to do a green base. And I think I'm going to do the whole of the pear in this. I know I said I'm going to do some red on it. So do this lightly. Don't press too hard because we're going to be adding other colours. Okay. I'm going to ignore that and I think I'll just put my gold pen around there and that'll be it. So that is our green base. I want some darker areas of green and some areas of orangey red. So I'm going to grab the olive green next. Here it is. Oh, I've nearly sharpened the name off. It's my bugbear with these, as the names are so high up the pencil. And I think I'll do a darker bit on this edge here. So I'm going to sort of scumble it into the colour that's there already. I will probably go back over with another layer of zombie at the end. So it will help to blend it in. But I'm just going to sort of scumble it along here. Fade it along a bit. Like that. There we go. Then we'll put our sort of reddy colour here. What should we use? I quite like a sort of orangey red. Don't really, maybe the fire will work. It's more of a Venetian red, isn't it? The dragon breath, let's use that. Here it is. Dragon breath. It's a good name, such a good name. Oh, that's quite bright. Probably didn't need it to be quite that dark. We'll fade it like that. I think it'll be fine, and I'm going to go over all of it with the zombie again. Zombie. I don't like zombies. You know, the sort of zombie movies and stuff. I don't like that sort of thing. But I don't like anything scary. Hence my dislike of Halloween, really. I realise this is mixing in with the red. I think that's how it looks on a pear. I often think it looks like a mixture of green and red. That's why I've done it like that. Otherwise I would have just left the red. But no, I find it all very scary. So I tend to sort of... But I've got some really cute Halloween pages, colouring pages that I'm going to be doing in October, obviously. Not in September. Although we're getting towards the end. Now this little bit at the bottom is our sort of dead flower bit, which I always think looks to be a very dark brown. So I'm going to grab my mud, I think. Here it is. And just block that in a dark brown. There we go. But our leaf, I think I'm going to actually keep with this mud and do a little bit at the bottom of here. Just a bit of brown. I don't know why. I don't know if it would be brown. I'm thinking coming up off the stick. But I'm going to use the olive green that we used, before down here. I'm going to use it here, but over the top of our mud, so that it looks like it's just a really dark green, hopefully. And then sort of fade it up with less layers. That's it. So I'm layering it up down here. I've got a really blunt pencil. I probably should sharpen it, but it's fine. I'm happy. And the tip I'm going to do with a very yellowy green. I'm thinking lime. No, should we do the passion? Let's try passion. This one I haven't sharpened since oh yeah. So we get a little pop of brightness on that leaf tip. I like that. I'm just gonna layer it up. Okay, so now we need to think about our gold again and glitter. So here they are. So the metallic first, and because it's on the inside, so we do this piece over in the metallic, and then the dots. The stalk and the veins on the leaf. My desk is creaking. There we go. And then our glitter pen for the edge. All the way around, including around this bit. Shiny. I so love this page. I could colour it loads of times if I was able. Right, so you can't really see the shine, but if I turn it, yeah, you can see a bit. You can see my pen's not working very well. Right, now I think we'll leave that for today. We've got a few items left to do. I still haven't decided what colour to do the flower, but it's going to all fit in with our autumnal palette. And the dragonfly as well. I think I've got an idea for him. In fact, I might go and look up that dragonfly that I'm going to base him on and check what colours I'm going to use. I think it'll work. But that is me for today. So thank you for watching. I hope that was okay. I hope that you all have a really super day and come back tomorrow to have a look at what I'm going to do next. But for now, thank you very much and happy colouring.